Welcome to your Joyful Life Podcast, episode 16. Today's episode is called Resistance is the Problem.
Hey everyone, welcome to episode 16 of your Joyful Life Podcast. I am one of your hosts. I am Mike, and this is
Evan.
And
Howdy.
Yeah, howdy. And today's topic is, what's today's topic? Resistance is futile. No.
It was something about resistance. It was
Resistance is the problem.
Resistance is
the
capital The problem.
Oh,
Yeah, resistance
V.
is the problem.
Right.
This was, I think, something that you had said to me, or maybe texted me as an idea.
Oh, the onus is on me here, is it?
Yeah, we're doing
All
that.
right.
Yeah.
Resistance.
But as a coach, you're just going to flip it around on me anyway, no matter what happens.
I could. That's within my power.
Usually how it goes. But yeah, what do we mean, or what do you mean by resistance is the problem?
Right.
Sounds like a big deal.
I remember sending that to you now, yeah. I wonder what the context was.
I don't think there was any.
Probably not.
Or at least not as the recipient, there was no context.
That might be a good segue, right? Because, resistance is the problem is, really speaks to the opposite, which is allowing. Right?
Yes, allowing is the opposite of resistance,
well, thank you. Allowing is the solution to all of our problems.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, feels frictionless. So, yeah, what did I mean when I sent resistance? When I sent that text, resistance is the problem. I think what I was remembering or realizing is just how easy it is for us to get in our own way. How easy it is for us to take inspiration and kind of kick it to the curb with, but later, but some reason why I can't follow this inspired thought that has occurred to me. So it seems to me that our goal, if you will, is to offer as little resistance as possible to that which inspires us.
Okay.
Right. So
offer as little resistance as possible to that which inspires us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So inspiration hits us, and we've all had moments of inspiration. And I think there's a tendency when we get inspired, there's a tendency to question it, to not take it at face value. And I think as soon as we resist inspiration, it opens up a quagmire of ways in which we get in the way of allowing whatever has inspired us to come into the world. Right. So
yeah.
Resistance is the problem. I mean, just means we get in our own way. We overthink, we overanalyze, we, use that other bad word, the but word, oh, I should call my mom, but I don't feel like it right now, but I'm busy right now. And what I've noticed is that whenever I catch myself, resistance takes a toll on me. So, and I use that example of calling my mother, when I feel inspired to call my mom, I call my mom. And the odd times when I don't, I feel like it's just sitting there.
Yeah, right.
It's
always in the back of your head.
Come on,
you're like,
you're supposed to.
Yeah.
And it's not. There's something about. There's a valuable distinction between what feels inspired and inspiring, and what feels like I gotta do it. I must do this. I should do this. To me, that always feels, that always comes with resistance. Whenever I think I should do this, like somewhere baked inside of me is like, fuck you, don't tell me what to do.
Right.
Like even if it's me.
Yeah.
Right? Even if I'm the one saying I should do that, it's like, screw you, man. I'm not going to listen to you.
Yeah.
But if I feel inspired to do something, it's almost like inspiration bypasses our psychology.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
It just sort of bubbles up. Oh, there it is. There's now I know what to do next. And then I either, in that moment, I can choose to follow that inspiration, or I can create reasons or resistance as to why not. And that never works out well for me. So I think, resistance is the problem. I was probably I was probably stuck in some aspect of my psychology where I was, resisting something and just, no, yeah, right. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I'm doing that thing again where I'm putting, this is probably not totally accurate, but where I'm putting myself first, or I'm putting the meaning of my personal thinking ahead of the whatever or wherever the inspiration comes from. I'm diminishing the meaning of that inspired thought, or I'm diminishing the meaning of that in favor of, but what I think is more important.
Right. Whatever your story, your mind's telling you.
Yeah, precisely.
About why that couldn't be real, or why you shouldn't listen to it, or why something else is more important. Yeah.
Yeah. And that just, unless you're driving a car fast in the rain or trying to build a friction fire, resistance. There are probably other examples where resistance or friction is probably a good thing. There's probably lots of examples where friction is a good thing, but in this context, I think we're just so much more than our personal thinking. There's just so much more going on here than, the shit that my brain spews out whenever the hell it wants to, and it's just so easy to get caught up in that and to get caught up in the meaning of everything that our brain spits at us, so that we forget that there is, we're a little reluctant to call it divine guidance, but I'll use that language, and when we resist the guidance that comes from beyond us or from before our personal thinking, that's generally not a good thing,
Yeah, everybody's had experiences, I assume, where, you're hit with that inspiration, like, oh, I should turn left instead of right, or whatever it is. I had one, I think I was mentioning last time about a book I started reading. Like, I literally saw it popped up on my daughter's phone, and there was something about it that was like, I needed to know what that is. Mm-hmm. And I could have not done that, but what it's opened up has been so interesting and powerful. Like, what a waste it would have been to not have listened to that. And in that moment, there was no friction against doing it. Like, there was no reason I couldn't. But even when, actually, that's not necessarily true. When I started reading, the author's book, probably written by AI.
Right.
And
yeah.
So I was reading through it and like, ugh, this is gross. This is written by AI. So I did have a very good reason to stop pursuing that, because it's icky. But I went back and read her first book, because there was still part of me that was like, no, there's something important here. So I went back and got her first book, which is not written by AI.
Right.
And, has been sort of opening up a lot of things for me on this path. So that listening to that voice was important, certainly more important than resisting it. There's something to, it's whatever it is trying to tell us something. Like, there is some kind of wisdom there, I think.
I think resistance takes us out of the present moment. It takes us out of our ability to we talked about this earlier. It takes resistance. It's like static on a radio dial. You can't hear clearly. I can't. I'm trying to listen to Q107, but I'm dialed into, I don't know,
108.3,
or whatever. Right? Yeah. I can hear I can hear a faint echo of Q107, but I actually can't hear Q107 because I'm too caught up. I'm in the frequency, if you will, of resistance.
Yeah, that happens a lot with sort of mundane things, like, oh, I got to fold the laundry, I have to wash the dishes, like, right. I can't wait for this to be finished.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not doing a good job at those things because I just want them to be over.
I think, and it just, something just, it doesn't feel inspired. And now I forgot it. Damn it. It'll be back.
I hope so. It sounded important.
No, it was too. Damn it. Resistance. What was I going to say? Resistance. Inspiration. Shit.
Laundry, dishes.
Laundry,
resisting,
dishes. Present,
waiting for it to be over.
Resistance takes us out of the present moment.
Yeah. waiting for it to be over. I think was the last thing I said.
Yeah. Oh, well, carry us for a moment. It'll come back.
Okay. Yeah, I think there is something I've noticed that my meditation practice often mirrors whatever I'm thinking about or going through. And what I've noticed in the last bit with meditation, so the style of meditation I do through the yoga that I study is somewhat prescriptive. So like each sit, there's like, you do this kind of breathing and you do this number of breaths. And there are times when I know I'm pre-committed to doing them. Like I know I'm going to meditate, twice a day. And I sit down, but it's late at night. I want to go to bed. I want to read a book. And so I find myself sort of forcing myself to do this thing that I've committed to, but I'm not enjoying it because I want it to be over, just like the dishes. And obviously I'm not having a great meditation when that's happening because I'm just waiting for it to be over. I'm not present. I'm thinking about the next thing.
Right.
And I've started to have a lot more ease or grace with myself to be a little bit more open to how the meditation goes. So I'm still meditating multiple times a day, and I'm enjoying it. But what I'm doing in those moments has become a lot more, I would call it maybe intuitive.
Right.
And I'm not following a set of instructions. And sometimes it's shorter than it would have been previously when I was like, I got to check the box.
Right. This many breaths or whatever it is. Yeah.
But because I'm not sort of beholden to some external instruction, like you said, when you hear a voice telling you what to do, you have an immediate resistance to that. But now I'm like, I'm only here for me. There's nobody else in the room. There's nobody even else I'm the only one here. Right. This is only for me. Meditation is the most selfish thing. Right. I'm not interacting with anything.
Right.
I'm just sitting here in my own head. I can do whatever I want. And to be a little bit freer with that has really deepened my practice. So I don't feel like I'm losing out by not following rigid instructions. I feel like I'm gaining by being more in the moment. And I think part of that comes from not resisting. Like I was bringing resistance to like either, I got to get this over with, or I got to do what someone else has told me to do. Like, as opposed to like, what feels good right now? What do I want to do right now? So yeah, the resistance was the problem.
I think maybe what I was going to say earlier, and I love what you're saying there. I think resistance takes us out of the present moment. It's hard to be in the present moment and be resistant. What I was going to say was, resistance is when we want or need or wish for things to be different than they are.
Yes.
Right. So things should not be like how they are now.
Yeah. Right.
And that, I think that's probably the ultimate level of resistance. You're resisting reality.
Yeah. Well, that's the Buddhist, all source of suffering comes from craving is often how it's translated.
Right.
And it's wanting to be, I want something I don't have. I don't want something I do have.
I want it to be other than
I want
how
more
it
or less.
is.
I want things to be different than they are. Yeah. That's where all suffering comes from, because if you're okay with how things are, you're okay with how things are. You don't have to do anything. It's just okay.
Well, and the cool thing is, when you're okay with how things are, what typically emerges is what there is to do next.
Yeah.
Right. Like
what else would come up? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, which is interesting because when you're stuck in the resistance of how things are, what comes up is more resistance typically.
Yes. Yeah. I would agree with that, yeah.
So on one side, if you're in resistance and you're resisting how things are, you get more resistance. But when you're just okay with how things are, what tends to happen is you get a way to move forward or towards a preferred state of being or a preferred state, right?
When you say preferred state.
Well, okay. Yeah. I mean, it's the semantics of that, right? I think you can be okay with something and still have a preference for something else.
Yep.
Right. So I can be okay with sitting in the hot sun and have a preference in this moment to be sitting in the shade.
Sure. Yep.
Right. Or I can be thirsty and have a preference for I'd like something to drink. So I think the resistance piece is always, making it wrong or making the story means something other than what's actually going on.
Yeah. I think, the sun thing is, you always say like, yes, and.
Yeah.
So like, yes, I am okay in the sweltering heat, and
Yeah.
I love a glass of ice water. Yeah.
That's right. One of my mentors, Dominic Scafidi, sorry, Dominic, I'm going to brutalize this, but it's, or Abraham, I think it's from Abraham, completely satisfied and eager for more. So totally okay with how things are, ready and waiting and eager for the next thing. Right. And that's in my opinion, or what I've come to see as a state of allowing. Perfectly happy with how things, perfectly content, at peace, groovy with how things are, good, bad, or otherwise. I'm okay with it. And out of that, okay with it, however it is, tends to emerge a newer, or better version is not the right word, but a more aligned version of what you want.
Yeah.
That was very clumsy.
Yeah, no, I think I know what you're saying. Everything changes all the time.
Yeah.
So it can't be like, I'm just sitting in the hot sun and that's it forever. Right? Clouds will come, it's going to rain, night comes, right? The situation is going to change and evolve. So, and wanting it to be as it is, being sort of committed to like, I'm so okay that I never want it to change. That's just a different kind of
resistance,
craving or resistance.
Yeah, absolutely.
So things are going to change. The universe is going to universe. And I think what I've noticed is that, as I stop resisting, first of all, moments get more enjoyable. So washing the dishes, when you're just okay washing the dishes, is a very different experience than not wanting to be washing the dishes, but washing the dishes and thinking about what you're going to do when you're done washing the dishes.
Or hating the process of washing the dishes.
Doing
the fucking dishes.
Yeah. Why don't my kids do that?
Yeah. That's right. Why do I have to be doing this?
Right, yes. Being moment to moment, being okay with the moment, it doesn't mean you're going to be washing dishes forever. At some point, you'll hit the last dish, and then there'll be something else to do. And there is a sort of freedom that comes from that. What's next? I'm okay with it. And it'd be cool if something happened, and if it doesn't, that's okay too.
Yeah, I think that idea of completely satisfied and eager for more is it eliminates the shoulds. Like it takes away, like to be completely satisfied with a situation and still acknowledge an eagerness for that, for further growth or whatever it is. There's no in order twos in that. There's no shoulds. There's no, if I just do this, it'll be better on the other side.
Right.
There's like an altruism almost to, I'm totally happy right now. And more is good, or not so that I will be happier, but I'm totally happy now. And the next thing will bring what the next thing brings, and I'm going to be okay with that. So this is like, taking each moment as a moment, there is nothing but this moment, this presence, and moving from presence to presence to presence to presence, moment to moment to moment to moment, without needing to fix or change anything. Seems like a pretty ideal way to be able to comport oneself, Seems pretty easy.
Yeah. I don't know why it came up. I was thinking about movie sequels. Like you watch Star Wars is a great movie. When you get to the end, I didn't want Star Wars to be any different than it was.
Right.
And God, I hope they make a sequel because I want to see what happened.
Right.
It's not in order to, it doesn't change anything. It was just, I just want more of something, not because the first thing was lacking or because it was insufficient in any way. It was a great experience, and bring on more life, bring on more experiences.
I toyed with this for a while now. I think the universe, I don't think the universe cares about us, which is fine.
Yeah.
But it does give us what we want and what we ask for, right? And I think that there's this tendency that the universe has to, when you arrive at a place where you're okay in the moment, things tend to expand into, okay, There's like, okay, you got that? Okay, here's something else. Like,
Yeah.
here's more. So it's like the more I become comfortable with this moment and the next with each successive moment, it seems like the more becomes available.
Yeah.
The more
Yeah.
becomes on offer. Right? Like, I don't think the universe really gives us more than we can handle. Again, the universe doesn't care about us, but for the sake of language, okay, so this thing happened and you're okay with that. Okay, well, let's expand that thing a little bit. So there's this not resisting tends to just open more doors,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
stepping
Yeah.
into allowing is, well, okay, well, allowing just leads to more allowing. Resistance leads to more resistance.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. I found that with, I used to, when I was younger, I was terrible with money. And I grew up not a lot of money,
right.
and I never had a lot, and I always worked, but I didn't keep it, didn't know what to do with it. And no matter what happened, like, I didn't have money. I was just broke all the time. And I finally, like, committed to educating myself
Right.
about how to understand money and manage money and, invest. And as I started making those changes, it was like, the universe was like, oh, you know what you're doing now. And all of a
Right.
sudden, like, oh, it's a lot easier to make money now. It's a lot
Right.
easier to keep it because, you're sort of in alignment with the thing you want. And I've noticed similarly with, like, washing dishes as an example, the more, sitting and meditating the way I enjoy it, washing the dishes in a way that just makes it okay. Other situations that would have previously stressed me out or ruined my day have also become easeful. Like, I had to go to the courthouse,
Right.
dealing with my dad's estate, and like, oh God, I got to go down there. It's probably going to be a line. I don't know what's going on. It's going to be paperwork, all this nonsense. And instead it was like, I've never been to this courthouse before. I wonder what's going to happen. And like, ooh, there's a cop there at, security. Ooh, he found the pocket knife on my keychain. Like, oh yeah, he's definitely not going to keep that until I leave. And it just became a series of slightly surprising things that happened to me and turned into a fun part of my day. Like, problems with the house, water in my basement. Like, that could have been a stressful, annoying, like, I didn't want to deal with any part of that, but all of a sudden it was like, no, it's just stuff to do.
Right.
And nothing about those situations made the experience different than it would have been, right? They unfolded the way that they would have been regardless of my attitude, I think. Like, there was still water in the basement regardless of whether I was upset about it or not.
Right. But your experience of that comes from your approach to it, right?
Yeah, and all of a sudden there was no resistance, there was no conflict. It was just steps to take and things to do and people to meet and paper to sign and whatever it was. And I think that sort of starts with, like, if you're not okay doing the dishes, you're probably not okay with a lot of stuff going on in your life.
Right.
If every person that cuts you off ruins your day, there's probably things outside of your car that are also driving you crazy. And if you can start with some of those small things and just be like, here's the moment in front of me. Can I not resist it?
Yeah. I think I said this, when we resist reality, things tend to not go so well.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So the asshole in front of me is driving slow. Okay. So even describing that as, so the asshole in front of me, well, that's resistance, right? There is a car traveling slower. I'm the asshole part is made up. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe it's my 91-year-old mom in a different car that I'm
the
used
last
to in front of me.
drive she's ever going to take. Yeah. she's enjoying it.
Actually, she's not an asshole. It's funny how, it's just, we really can get in our own ways.
That's a lot of what we do. Yeah.
I think it's most of what we do, or at least most of what we suffer.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Is of our own, I did it, and I did it by storying or giving more meaning to the story of the reality that I'm experiencing than just trying to deal with the reality of what you're experiencing. Right. It's that the resistance to reality lends you to create a story, I suspect. Right. Yeah. I want it to be different. So I'm either going to make a story that makes it, someone else's fault or not my responsibility or whatever. And, that might feel temporarily good, but that never there's no real lived satisfaction there.
No, and I think it's because you miss the moment while you're telling yourself that story.
Exactly.
Like there's, you're washing the dishes and you're thinking, why aren't my kids doing the dishes? Why haven't they invented a better machine that does this? Why didn't I do the dishwasher before? I'm important. I have other things. Like there's a million
stories. Why does my wife have to eat granola every morning that she makes in a pot and leaves the crap on the end
right.
or at the bottom of the pot?
Hey, my wife's granola is incredible, and it's never a problem to wash that dish. It's always a treat. But like with all the endless storytelling, you are missing out on the actual moment of doing the thing, and then you get to the end and you don't feel good.
Well, you're making it something it's not.
Yeah.
And
you get to the end, you're like, oh, all my entire experience was the nonsense in my head.
Yeah, and you miss the potential to appreciate the thing itself.
Yeah.
And to see where the thing itself might lead.
Yeah.
Where it's the I mean, so much resistance is fear-based, right? Like, what do we resist? What do we resist? Being wrong? Why do we resist things? Why do we resist things?
Ooh, probably fear, but so we want things to be different. It goes back to maybe last time we talked about sort of that premise that we're all energy and we're suffering from the illusion of separation.
Right.
Well, I don't want to feel separated. I'm already resisting, right? Instead of flowing with, like if I weren't separated, I would just flow with things because I'm part of everything and everything would be easy. And I would just allow and be part of the flow. And instead I'm stomping my foot down in the river and saying, I'm taking a stand, and now it's battering against me. And I'm, however you want to carry that metaphor.
I had a really interesting thought the other day about loving other people.
Okay.
Like I tell people I love them all the time.
Mm-hmm. You do. That's true.
I do. Yeah. And I've distinguished it at times. I'm not saying I'm in love with you, right? That's my wife. I don't think I'm in love with my children. That I love my children, and that the love that I have for my children is different than the love that I have for you. And as I say that, it's probably no different. But there was something about how I was walking walking in the woods with the dog, and it was like looking around, kind of having that moment of, where's the separation between me and all that? Like I see it as separate and distinct. I feel it as a great sense of belonging and or inclusiveness or connection or of non-separation of non-duality, if you will. But what occurred to me was how easy it is to love other people when you see yourself as part of everything, because everyone is just part of everything.
Yeah.
And then, now I love myself. So it's really easy to love you or someone else because we're all part and parcel of the same thing. And, I hadn't sort of heard that in that way. But it's just like, wow, this is a pretty groovy feeling I'm having here. Right. And I love this. And there was something about it that I guess what it was just the dropping of the distinction, the dropping of the illusion of separation. And in the loss of that illusion of separation, what occurred was, love. And I was like, well, this is kind of cool.
Interesting that's what comes up when you stop resisting.
Yeah, it's the first time that has come up like that, right? But in the absence of resistance, there is love. It's like, I could get down with this.
Right.
I was like, oh, this is cool. I love going for walks with the dog. Eventually I'll be able to do that again with both dogs.
With both dogs, yeah.
Yeah.
Double the love.
Double the love.
Should we
it's probably a good place to wrap up. Yeah.
Less resistance, more love.
Less resistance, more love. I guess an invitation to anyone who watches this is look into your own life and see if that's true. Like, can resistance and love coexist?
Oh, that's a good question.
Right? Like when you're in resistance, how close or far are you from love? And when you're absent of resistance, what is coming up for you?
Yeah, nice.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Pay attention next time you're washing the dishes or folding laundry or whatever. Yeah.
See if you love the dishes. My wife loves likes folding laundry. I'm using like now. She likes folding laundry, which is great because I don't like folding laundry. So it's kind of a win-win.
Perfect.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go back to, in the absence of resistance, there is love.
There's love. All right.
See what you see. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. See you next time.